Unlike their next-door neighbor, Walt Disney World isn't known to remove their rides very often. Unless they're prime real estate or just falling apart, Disney tends to leave their rides alone for as long as they can. Even so, there's plenty of attractions that have been on the chopping block for quite some time. In this video, I want to go through a handful of them, and talk about what the future holds for these 5 attractions. First up, let's talk about the most likely of the bunch. Ever since Primeval World was torn down back in 2021, the fate of Dinoland USA has seemed inevitable. Especially considering the blue sky announcements made during D23, it's incredibly likely this land will be gone within the next decade. That said, it's almost certain Triceratops Spin will be closing very soon. Whether it'll be completely torn down or simply rethemed is up for debate, but regardless, I don't think this attraction has a very long lifespan. What's less certain is the fate of another dinosaur-themed attraction, aptly titled DINOSAUR. This ride continues to be popular to this day, and hasn't run into too many technical issues from what I can tell. However, the Blue Sky plans do suggest this area will soon be taken over by a new Zootopia attraction. Not to mention, it would be kind of weird to have a single dinosaur attraction behind all the Moana stuff. Overall, unfortunately, I think the end of Dinoland USA will also mean the end of Dinosaur. Next, let's talk about a ride that I haven't seen on many people's radar. It's no secret that Disney has been inserting a lot of IP into Epcot as of recent. From Moana to Guardians of the Galaxy, it's clear Disney wants to connect this park to their various film franchises. Nowhere is this more apparent than World Showcase, which has seen the additions of Frozen and Ratatouille in recent years. An easy addition along those lines would be a retheme of the Grand Fiesta Tour in the Mexico Pavilion. Considering the popularity of Coco, it seems like a no-brainer to integrate it into the resort. It is possible that Coco could get its own separate attraction, especially considering the blue sky plans we saw at D23. However, I think this is just as likely, if not more so. Just change some of the set pieces, update the visuals, and maybe even add an animatronic or two. It's a nice easy addition that'll bring more guests into the area. As a whole, I think this is fairly likely, but we'll have to wait and see for sure. Now, let's hop over to the Magic Kingdom and talk about Tomorrowland. In early 2022, there was a lot of talk about Space Mountain getting a Lightyear-based retheme. Since then, it seems like that rumor has been dispelled, and personally, I don't see Space Mountain going anywhere for a very long time. What could be updated in the future, however, is Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. While this is a fun shooting dark ride, it's certainly a bit outdated, and could go for an upgrade in the future. This could be in the form of a Lightyear retheme, but considering how poorly that film did, I'm not sure that's the direction they'd want to go. It's also possible they could do the Ant-Man retheme found at Hong Kong Disneyland, but I'm unsure whether that falls within Universal's rights. Besides, Ant-Man is nowhere near as popular as Toy Story. Not to mention, this ride is still incredibly popular, boasting hour-long waits throughout the day. So, while I think there's a small chance it could get refreshed, more than likely this ride is here to stay. Finally, let's touch on one of the most talked about rides when it comes to removal. Muppet Vision 3D is sandwiched between 2 different Star Wars attractions. With Star Tours on its left and Galaxy's Edge on its right, this ride seems prime for removal. To that end, most people seem to think this will be replaced with yet another Star Wars attraction. However, I have a different proposal. First, as much as I hate to say it, I'd have to agree this is one of the more likely rides to be removed. Despite its importance as the last Muppet project Jim Henson ever directed, it isn't all too popular nowadays. Not to mention, it could probably be moved to Disney Plus if they wanted to. It wouldn't be ideal considering the 3D aspect and interactive elements, but they could definitely make it work. While I'd rather not see it go, it is incredibly likely. However, I don't think we'll be seeing another Star Wars attraction here. For as popular as Galaxy's Edge is, Star Tours does not have that same energy. Even on busy days, I frequently see Star Tours with a 5-minute wait at best. Perhaps it could be given new life with some additional scenes, but honestly, I just don't think the demand is here for this ride anymore. So, part of me thinks that both Star Tours and Muppet Vision could be saved for a much bigger land in the future. Throw in the space from Backlot Express, and you have a sizable area for a brand new land. Whether it be Marvel, Indiana Jones, or some other IP, I think this idea makes a lot of sense. I think it would be a while before it happens, considering how many other projects are on the list, but by the 2030s, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some movement here. Overall, I think Muppet Vision may have a few years left in it. And if I'm right, Disney, could you please reopen the Muppet Store already? I'd really appreciate it. For more on Walt Disney World, check out this video ranking every ride at Hollywood Studios. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.